And you're looking at a live picture of Spots, also known as the Spotopotamus. He's here today because Nathan Lowe, the Indy Dog Whisperer, has joined us to teach us a little bit about really protecting ourselves from getting bitten by a dog we don't know.
That's right, because it happens all the time. People approach a dog they don't know. Is your dog? Wham. Okay, so what we want to do is prevent this so this doesn't happen. So here's some things, a few things, and then we're going to actually set this up and I'm going to demonstrate this so viewers can watch what this looks like. So number one, never approach an unfamiliar dog. In other words, never close that gap all the way to the dog. You don't want to stare at them, you don't want to face them, hi doggy like this, and you don't want to reach for them. And it's kind of the opposite. People do all three of those things, George. Like they walk up to the dog, face the dog, say hi.
Right.
Those are the three wrong things to do when you don't know a dog. What you need to do first, as the dog is coming, you want to assess the dog's body language. So here's, when you see this, you're out. Pricked ears, closed mouth, stillness, and staring.
Okay.
So if the dog's ears are up and the mouth is closed and it's very still staring, it's a wash. It's what I call opposed.
Yes.
It's body language that says opposed, not interested in socializing. If their ears are relaxed, the mouth's open, the body's loose, and the eyes are soft, that's open. They're open to interaction. So then the question is, how do you interact at that point, seeing the right signals? One, I see you're open. Two is I crouch at 90 degrees and allow the dog to walk to me.
Yes.
Don't close the gap to the dog. So the owner can let out enough leash the dog can approach you. And guess what? If the dog doesn't want to come to you, too bad, they don't want to.
And what's funny is I feel like those of us who consider ourselves dog people are probably the biggest offenders because we just
well-meaning, but
the dog's going to like me,
right.
you know. So I'm just
but if you hugged every jogger in your neighborhood, they wouldn't like it either, and so they don't know people, and they're not comfortable with you just saying, "Hey,
no, I'm a runner too."
You like hugs. So when you're petting too, you keep your hands and arms low, keep it under the chin. Don't start reaching over them. Reaching over can be a dominant signal to a dog, and if you see the body language shift, stand up and move away. So do you mind if we set this up and I demo this? Let me show you this.
I'll bring Spots over here, and we will walk towards the Indy Dog Whisperer.
So you're going to walk toward and then stop right about that pillar, and I'll show you what I do. So come on. So I see a dog say, hey, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to crouch down, let some leash off, and if he ignored me, but see, so soft eyes, ears down, loose body, tail loose. Fine. So I'm going to do like this. Hey, now face, if he comes to my face like this, that's one thing. But I'm not going to go like this to him. I know Spots, so I don't mind it. Now, if he gets pushy like this, right, because sometimes I'll get this, I'll nudge them away and stand up to get my elevation again. And if I go down like this, Spotty, if I go down like this and I see him all of a sudden tense up on me like this, I'm just going to stand up. I'm not going to say, it's okay, and then get myself clomped. I'm going to stand up and just take a step away and keep talking to you. Does that make sense?
Yes, and that it's okay attitude, that's what you and I have talked about before, which is just, that's the wrong signal.
Yes, and so always assess the dog's body language before you decide to. Don't just close that gap. A dog is always talking by stance. And if you know what you're reading, you can preserve yourself a lot of trouble and a lot of bites that way.
Now let's just momentarily reverse the roles. If I am the dog owner and I am walking Spots out on the Monon Trail and this happens, people come up and thrust themselves, or even scarier, thrust their little kid up. Like,
you pet the dog?
Right.
What's
the best approach?
Honestly, George, that is the most difficult thing to control. The dog you can teach, but for people, I think there's this misnomer that, well, dogs know I love them. Well, they're not thinking like that. If they're by their person, they're not thinking love, love, love. They're thinking, this is my person, I'm uncomfortable, I don't know your scent. So you're not going to say, oh, here, just feel my love for you. You're not going to. So honestly, find places where that's not going to happen, where you're not going to have people violate that. Like I have people say to me, well, my relatives don't listen. I said, well, it's your house, you got to make them listen.
Okay. So let's wrap it up though with this message. You know, if you're going to walk up to people that are walking their dog, just ask permission before you start thrusting yourself in front of the dog.
Well, and not even you don't have to ask permission if you don't close the gap. If you just stop short and kneel down, the dog will come to you if it's interested. So I don't say, hey, can I go to your... I never go to the dog. The dog comes to me. So it's just like any of us. If you want to come to me, fine. If not, I'm not going to bother you. That's the message.
That's the message.
Don't
let the
bit.
dog come to you.
Don't get bit.